This is QD video brought to you by RheumNow.Live, a 16-hour masterclass for the next best generation of rheumatologists. Today's case from the clinic is entitled A Different Kind of Case. So this 53-year-old gal with rheumatoid arthritis comes in, haven't seen her in 13 months. She's supposed to be on a biologic, and I'm wondering what's the deal. But you find out quickly, the deal is that life has gone wrong. In her case, it could have been a death, a divorce, someone running out on her, abandonment, a major financial issue, a major family issue. These happen, and when you identify them, hopefully at the front end of a visit, the visit changes. It's no longer the checklist of what drugs are you taking, let me get this right. What did you do? What's new? What's the new diagnosis? What's the last imaging that you had? And let's go over your, rapid 3-score parameters and get down a good joint exam and, do your monitoring and comorbidity assessments. No, now it's all about the patient. It's all about the big problem, the big elephant in the room. And it could be a lot of different things. I think what you need to do when this happens is recognize this is not going to be your usual visit. You can get by and do your documentation that you need to do a usual kind of visit. And in the beginning, you're going to acknowledge the problem. At the end, you're going to do the things you need to do, like refills and set another appointment. But when a new big thing happens like this in a different kind of visit, what do? Number one, you focus on the problem, which means you let them talk. You ask questions like, how did that happen? How did you handle that? What have you done since? You start to write down a checklist of things that you know are going to be issues for this patient. At the top of the list is taking care of the patient. Usually when this happens, life goes to hell in a handbasket, and they let everything that's been working for them stop. How they took their medicines, what their diet was, what their exercise was. They stopped doing those things that were actually keeping them under control. Being boring is a great outcome in arthritis care. When this happens, they're no longer boring. Their life is turned upside down. So identifying the things that they need to do to get back to boring, to get back to regular behavior, and taking care of themselves. At this point, they may be taking care of everybody else around them but themselves. Usually what happens is they stop medicines. They stop doing the things they were supposed to do. You check on, are they sleeping? Major issue, often goes undetected. You check and see if they're anxious or depressed and if they need psychologic or psychiatric care. You have to tell them, at this point in the game, with all that's going on, the best thing they can do is take care of themselves. The second best thing they can do is ask for help. Sometimes they're so overwhelmed managing the disaster that is theirs, they think that they have to do everything, and they're embarrassed to ask for help. That doesn't count with you. You know the patient, they know you, they trust you. You have to encourage them to get help. So you need to find out, are they crashing? With all this stuff going on, are they being compliant? What's it doing to their disease? What it's doing to their health, and what it's doing to their head? So I think it's a really important sort of focus is, are we in good shape here, or are we, circling downwards? And that's not a good thing. I think you may have to bring the patient back earlier to do the work you need to do to recheck on them. But it's really important to have sort of an approach. Number one, listen, focus on the problem, develop a list of things they need to do. Again, most of that's listening, but in the end, they want you to sort of put it together, be an outsider who's got some perspective. Encourage great sleep, encourage perfect mental health, getting them back to normal. Find out if they're crashing and figure out when they need to come back, and don't make it 6 months or in a year. People who are concerned about their patient usually want to know what's going on. Maybe it's easier just to call them in 2 weeks or 3 weeks to say, how's it going? Did that thing we suggest happen for you? Or what's been the problem since? Or what's going good for you now? Nothing? Okay. Well, again, hope, rules, and goals. I keep preaching that. That's what every patient wants. They don't want the answers. They want you to listen. They want some hope. They need some guidance. and basically tell them, you know, how they're going to get there, and that they will get there. That's it for QD video. Watch the next one. It's probably going to be better than this one.